What's up, guys? And lady, because there's got to be one out there. One out there watching. There's always one watching. What I wanted to go over today was the Unity Tactical hot buttons and the Unity Tactical buttons that they made for Modlite. These are starting to get back in stock places. I got mine a few months ago as far as the hot buttons go. From a place that I usually shop at, and they were able to get some in stock. So I'm going to just go over the differences and what they do. Real quick, simple. Right here we have the Mark 18 that I'm in the process of finishing up. Still waiting for a B.E. Myers Mall, but that's a different video. So this unit right here is the hot button. This is the angled hot button with the Picatinny mount, obviously. You'd be surprised how unobvious some things are to people. Now, this particular one works great in conjunction with the ScalarWorks front sight because I'm able to have it all the way forward. And then because the lead comes right out the center in the rear, it goes right through my ScalarWorks sight here, which is scalloped in between here and allows the wire to come through. I still have to permanently secure this. Haven't had to do it yet because it seems to work pretty damn good the way it is. But eventually it's going to get caught on something or this and that, and I'm going to be annoyed that I haven't done anything about it. So I've got little tiny zip ties that I can secure that with, and I will be doing that. Now, these hot buttons, one thing I like about them is the fact that they are momentary with the slightest push. So just a light push gives them a momentary. But then when you click it, they stay on permanently. Well, you know, not permanently, obviously, but they'll stay on until you click them again. So that gives you two options there, which is real nice. With that. Now, they also have it in an M-lock form. Now, the M-lock form, the lead obviously can come out and go to the left or to the right, and it M-locks on to your rail. Now, these are exactly the same thing. The difference being is the M-lock and the design factor obviously being different from that of the Picatinny pick design. A little bit longer to make up for the M-lock, but not as wide. I mean, the button's obviously going to be as wide, but the overall unit itself is not as wide. So that's those two. Let me move this out of the way. Let me get this bitch out of here. Get out of here. Alright. The next option from Unity Tactical is going to be their wing, Lightwing. I think it's called a Lightwing. I can't remember offhand. I got this when they first came out with it. Now, there's there's obviously there's black and FDE, but there's two ways you could do this. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if for some reason you're thinking, hey, okay, I want my light just like this light. Now, we'll look at this real quick. I want my light just like this light, where it's on my driver's side. You know what I mean? Because I'm right-handed. So I'm right-handed, so this is on where my left hand would go. So this is where I want the light. So I could work the switch on the back of the Surefire, and I could also work the pressure pad Lightwing. You would be right in thinking that's a good idea. But the thing is, with this, when you do that, if you were to mount it right here, let's say you mounted it right here, well, the light comes back, and we'll demonstrate that here. No matter how far you put this back, all right, so the light, that's as far back as it will mount, right, to the light. But if you look, you have this whole area of the switch. Don't fall on me. Don't fall on me. Oh, my God. Okay, we're safe. almost died. So we'll just do it like this for all intents and purposes. So what happens is your switch housing on the back of the light and where your lead goes would be in the way. And believe it or not, it's just ridiculous to try to get to that switch up on top. So what you end up having to do is actually, let's pretend this is not here. I know that's going to be hard for some of you, but let's pretend this is not here. So instead of having it on the driver's side, you're going to switch it over to the passenger side here, and then you're going to put one going in this direction, which is represented by the tan one, right? And then you could push your light out in two different options, okay? Now then your light would actually be brought out far enough away where, and the reason being that it's far enough away is because it's no longer on your manipulation side where you're going to be reaching over to click it or tick it. All right. So, but with that being said, because it's now on the passenger side, you can also, if you decided, you could use the, I think this is the left-hand wing. This is the right-hand wing. The right-hand wing goes forward. The left-hand wing goes forward, just opposite sides. Driver side, passenger side. If you're right-handed, that's how I look at it. So if you did swap this way, and you had a real compact firearm, like a subgun or something like that, then you could run something like the 600 all the way back here, and then like, yes, this isn't representing a 600, but the body of the head of the 600 would be, obviously down more, but it would be like out to here, and then the tail cap and everything like that would be out here. So that's something to think about. I kind of went crazy, and like I have a bunch of hot buttons and the black and this color. I have a bunch of the mod buttons, and I have one of these switches because I wanted to see where I could utilize this. I don't know if I'll be able to utilize this in the current configurations I have going on right now, unless I put it on the Space Invader or something in that category. Now that we've gone over that, let's go over the Modlites. Now, the Modlite, not the Modlites, but the Modlite buttons, whatever you call them, whatever they call them, the switches, buttons. Let's turn this bad boy on. Okay, so now, with all my setups, I always have the switches in the same spot. As far as placement, as far as in light first, laser second. So with this, the ramped up, this really does work out good. Hello? Never mind, I thought the wife and kids were home. This really does work out good because of the way it's ramped. It feels good. But that is going to be that right there is going to be your switch. And this is going to be your laser. Now, one thing that separates the laser from the light is that the light, you press it, you release, press it, release, double press it, do whatever you want. You can sit here doing SOS all day. It doesn't stay on. The laser, the laser obviously comes on, but you double tap it and it stays on. Okay? Now, single tap doesn't do nothing. Double tap. There we go. Stays on. You gotta actually click the fucking button, Jay. Alright. So, that's pretty interesting. Now, I know that's a programming of this and not the switch. I wish that I believe it is. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I honestly could be wrong. I'm not an expert on if that's programmed via the switch or via the D-ball itself. Now, I wish they kind of did that for the light, but at the same time, no. Because this is not a soft press like the hot button. The hot button is like, it's got like a mush. like just like a fat chick, like her belly button. Like it's usually an Audi when they're real fat. I don't know that because I've never been with a fat chick, but I'm just guessing. So you do have a little bit of a mush, and then you have a click. These don't have that style of switch. This is just a click. There is no, see, if I try to give it a little mush, it does nothing. I have to physically push in the contact. So I don't mind that. Besides, you're not supposed to be running with these permanently on anyway. Well, everything's situational dependent, right? I mean, anything is anything, you know. If you're sitting there holding somebody, it would be nice to not have to just sit there and hold that light firm as fuck the entire time and pray to God that your hand doesn't slip off of it, but that's neither here nor there. Now, this is a pretty cool setup, this ramp setup that they have. So it's the Modlite, and it's basically the same Modlite, and you could buy this ramp, and then you just put the Modlite button, which is sandwiched in between these two pieces, and then it just gets sandwiched in between this ramp. So as you can see, it's nice and ramped, and almost as much as the hot button. So it works out pretty good. I like them. I like both of them. I really do. The Modlite is obviously... Well, we'll just pick up this one, because that one took a walk. The Modlite is obviously made out of, you know, aluminum and milled and just really high-end, just a high-end feel to it, where these are more plasticky, this and that. Their durability, I mean, it's not like you're sitting there whooping these things' asses with an axe or a 2x4, but let's face it, if it ever gets to the point where let's face it, if it ever gets to the point where you're running around with one of these motherfuckers because the world's gone crazy, I mean, shit is... I mean, there's stuff that we can't even think of going on. You know what I mean? Like, there is crazy stuff going on that we can't even contemplate right now. If we're running around with fucking AR-15s because the world's gone to shit. So it would be a little bit more of a peace of mind with the aluminum. But that being said, well, this doesn't matter if the internals are going to go bad just as easy as the internals on this, and vice versa. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the internals would go bad. Absolutely not. I'm just saying that if the switch is going to go bad, a switch is going to go bad. So there's no sense in dwelling on that or thinking, well, this is plastic. I don't know. I mean, yeah, could that be an issue? Yeah, possibly. Who knows? I mean, you slam it in a car door, you do whatever, but, you know, I don't know if I would dwell on that much. I do have a lot of these I've been buying these mod switches for the lasers, I've been buying them in the two different, they have them in the tan, the FDE in the black. So I've got about 2 or 3, extra laser ones, extra flashlight ones. And then with the hot buttons, I have, 1 more of these. And then I have, get over here, 1 more of these. And then I also, which I ordered, haven't received yet. They're coming in. Man, everything's so screwed up, but they should be coming within with a week or so. I have also the crane version, the laser version, because I want to try that. Now, these do not work with like my At-Pulse-C, the PEC 15 civilian version, just because of the way the battery comes out. You end up needing about this much space behind the unit, so it can be kind of awkward or weird, especially since the At-Pulse is so much longer. So these switches end up being all the way back here, just so you have that space right here, and which is actually back here because the unit's a little bit longer. So that's not good. So with the At-Pulse-C, I've been running, you're going to have to run something like just a flush mount, or like these, my God, where did it go? Or just these regular, the Modlites that are flat. Like you see this one. This one is from my Space Invader. I'm working on trying to figure out a way to do a ramped version, but it didn't work out. I really wanted the ramp thumb thing for the light, but it's just not going to happen. So we're going to have to use this one, and obviously I'm going to be running it on the passenger side going forward with the right side wing. But that's about it, guys. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one.